ballpark is better when we're all here together. COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. Join the team and help us all get back to doing what we love together.
Coming up on Cardinals Insider.
You don't play just to get to the division series or get to the championship series and get swept. You play to win the whole thing, so that's the dream. That's the end goal.
He may be just 25, but Jack Flaherty is one of the best pitchers in baseball. Plus,
at this point, anything that is positive feels good.
A pair of touching moments between the fans and Matt Carpenter. And later,
the Stars Odds were one of the few Negro League teams that had their own ballpark.
Part 2 of my conversation with Negro Leagues Museum President Bob Kendrick. Stay with us. Cardinals Insider starts now. Welcome to Cardinals Insider. I'm Ozzie Smith. Earlier this season, Jack Flaherty became the first Cardinal ever to reach 500 career strikeouts in less than 100 appearances. But that probably doesn't come as much of a surprise. In just a few seasons, Flaherty has cemented himself as one of the best pitchers in baseball. And for that reason, he's the subject of this week's Player Profile.
Crowd comes alive a bit. 3-2 pitch, and he struck him out. And he struck him out. 6 strikeouts for Jack Flaherty.
He's only 25 years old and has already established himself as one of the best pitchers in baseball. Heading into his 5th season, Cardinals ace Jack Flaherty is ready to lead the 2021 starting rotation.
And that time he does. Strikeout number 6 for Flaherty.
500 strikeouts in 80 appearances. Flaherty is the fastest pitcher in Cardinals history to reach 500 career strikeouts. He's also the first to do it in less than 100 appearances.
Taking the ball every 5th day and going deep into games. You know, no matter if you're on a winning streak, keeping that winning streak going. If teams, drop a game or two, getting them right back on track. Giving the team a chance to win every time out. But really taking the ball every 5th day, giving them a chance to win.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That's how we start this afternoon.
It's a dream. That's what you play for. You don't play to win a division. You don't play just to make the playoffs. You don't play just to get to the division series or get to the championship series and get swept. You play to win the whole thing. So that's the dream. That's the end goal.
There's a swing and a high fly ball into deep left field. Flaherty has just hit a home run.
Flaherty already provides plenty of entertainment on the mound, but who knew he could rake from the plate as well? Jack delivered his first career home run, a 416-foot bomb.
The fans want a curtain call from the Cardinal pitcher.
For Cardinals Insider, I'm Emily Stevens.
Straight ahead on Cardinals Insider.
What a nice moment for Matt Carpenter.
A pair of curtain calls. One Cardinal will never forget. Plus,
In a game of numbers, and our game is a game of numbers, no one's numbers are better than Henry Aaron.
Part 2 of my conversation with Bob Kendrick from the Negro Leagues Museum. Don't go anywhere.
There's nothing like the excitement of Cardinals baseball, and the 2021 Cardinals Media Guide makes sure you're ready for every moment. Learn all about your favorite players and rising prospects with bios, stats, and background info. It's your in-depth guidebook for the St. Louis Cardinals. Get yours at cardinals.com/media guide or at the Cardinals team store inside Busch Stadium. As another year of history unfolds, follow along using the 2021 official media guide. The St. Louis Cardinals. Fly.
Matt Carpenter's season didn't begin how anyone had hoped. But a set of homers provided a neat moment between he and the fans. Take a look.
Shift on for Carpenter, and the count in his favor.
At this point, anything that is positive feels good.
Finding those positive moments has been a chore for Matt Carpenter in 2021. But on April 13th, the tough luck melted away with a moment of encouragement for the career Cardinal.
Just like that, stay fair.
I was doing my inner Carlton Fisk, trying to keep that ball fair as best I could.
Gone! Off the foul pole! A mammoth blast off the bat of Carpenter.
You just, man, stay fair. Please, just stay fair.
Let it rip on 3-1.
And it was like straight, and then right at the end it started to, from my vantage point, I'll stay fair.
A towering blast right down the right field line. A 2-run home run. Carpenter's first of the year. And the Cardinals jump on top 5-1.
Such a relief. Again, it broke the game open, and also it was just a reward.
The fans want Carp to tip the cap. There's the curtain call.
When you've been, not having a ton of success and coming off of, a couple tough years in a row, to be able to have a moment like that, it's definitely a good feeling.
What a nice moment for Matt Carpenter.
The good feeling came back around on April 29th, pinch hitting in the 5th for Kwang Young Kim.
Carpenter with a drive into deep right. It's at the wall, and it's gone. Pinch hit, 3-run bomb, Carpenter. And you could just feel the sense of relief of Matt Carpenter as he was rounding first base when he saw that Quinn didn't catch that ball.
Pretty sure I would have retired if he would have caught that ball.
It's great at bat, obviously. Big at bat. Great for him, great for us.
And the Cardinals jump out on top, 3-1 in the 5th inning.
Some of the luck has obviously not been favorable for me, but that's part of the game. If you play this game long enough, you're going to go through stretches like this.
Carpenter off the bench, sends a jolt through Bush.
Makes the days like today that much more enjoyable when it does go your way.
And another curtain call for Matt Carpenter with his second home run this year.
It's a game of failure, a game of inches, and a game that rewards those who endure. For Cardinals Insider, I'm Brett McMillan.
And still to come,
Everywhere he played, he hit, and he hit with power.
it's part 2 of my conversation with President of the Negro Leagues Museum, Bob Kendrick. That's after the break, so don't go anywhere.
No place takes you in depth with the Cardinals like our YouTube channel. Get to know the players, come along for one-of-a-kind experiences, and hang out with personalities from across Cardinals Nation. Plus, we capture the days and moments that make Cardinals baseball so special. Just search St. Louis Cardinals on YouTube and be sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. St. Louis Cardinals Baseball. Fly.
Earlier this season, Bob Kendrick joined me to talk about how black players have shaped baseball both here in St. Louis and beyond. Here's part 2 of our conversation. Talk about the St. Louis Stars a little bit and what made them so special.
Well, number one, they had some of the greatest talent assembled as any Negro League franchise. Now, the Stars were originally the St. Louis Giants. The St. Louis Giants were one of the original 8 teams established when the Negro League started now 101 years ago, and then they eventually became the legendary St. Louis Stars, home to Hall of Famers Cool Papa Bell, Mule Suttles, Willie Wells, who Buck O'Neil said was you before we knew who you were. Willie Wells was doing those same kinds of magical things there in the city of St. Louis, and the Stars' eyes were one of the few Negro League teams that had their own ballpark. Yeah, they had Stars Park right over where Harris Stowe is today. And so that was a rarity in the Negro Leagues because not many of the Negro League owners had their own ballparks, so they would rent the stadiums from Major League teams, which is actually one of the reasons why it took so long to integrate this game. So you always got to remember, whenever they say it ain't about the money, it's always about the money.
You know, Hank Aaron started his career in the Negro Leagues as well. And what made him become? How did he become a pro at such a young age?
And I have to admit, my heart's still a little heavy over the passing of the late great Henry Aaron, who was my childhood idol, my all-time favorite Major League ball player as a kid, growing up in nearby Crawfordville, Georgia. A lot of people, and we've got this wonderful photograph of him, and I know you've seen it. He's standing at the train station in Mobile, your hometown. Standing at the train station in Mobile, and he's about to leave to go join the Indianapolis Clowns of the Negro Leagues. He's 18 years old, and at that time, Oz, he's a skinny, cross-handed hitting shortstop. And so Henry Aaron was a right-hand hitter who was hitting with his left hand on top. That is unorthodox, but Henry Aaron was knocking the cover off the baseball in a highly unorthodox fashion. And so when he gets to the Clowns, they put the right hand on top, and the rest, as we say, is history. He was shortly after discovered by the Boston Braves, who would become the Milwaukee Braves, who of course would become the Atlanta Braves. Henry Aaron, as you know, will go down in this sport as one of his all-time greatest players. And quite frankly, in a game of numbers, and our game is a game of numbers, no one's numbers are better than Henry Aaron. And so, yeah, the fact that it all started, though, in the Negro Leagues, in some ways, it validates the talent that was there in the Negro League. Because you know what Henry Aaron did. You know what Willie Mays did, and Ernie Banks, and Roy Campanella. These are stars who left the Negro Leagues and became some of Major League's biggest stars. And so you've got to be able to be reasonable enough in your thought process to think that maybe there were some other guys in this league known as the Negro League that could play too.
Well, give us a few of the names of the guys that you felt could play in the big leagues and would have had a real big impact.
Oh man, I can tell you with no level of uncertainty. We can start with the 10 that are on our field of legends. And you can start with those 10, and you've got the great Cuban ball player standing at the plate hitting, 6 feet 4 inches tall, movie star, good looks, the great Martin Dihigo out of Cuba, the only baseball player to hold the distinction of being in 5 different countries' baseball halls of fame. Ozzy's in the Mexican, Cuban, Venezuelan, Dominican, and in Cooperstown. They nicknamed him El Maestro, the master, because he could do it all, played all 9 positions, played all 9 of them well. You got Gibson, the great Josh Gibson, catching. Oh, he would have tore up Major League pitching just like he tore up everybody else. He played the kids. Everywhere he played, he hit, and he hit with power. You know, so it wasn't just in the Negro League. He went to Puerto Rico, he went to the Dominican Republic, Mexico, Venezuela. He lit everybody up, including major leaguers, because against major leaguers in head-to-head competition, Oz, he hit over 420, and he was doing it as a catcher. And then you got Oscar Charleston in center field, and that was Buck's guy. Buck always thought that Charleston was the greatest baseball player he had ever seen. He was Willie Mays before we ever knew who Willie Mays was.
Well, thank you, Bob. It's always great visiting with you, man. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. You guys stick around. We'll be right back in just a bit.
The Cardinals are supporting frontline and essential workers through our Frontline Fans program.
See how the Cardinals are honoring frontline workers who sacrificed for others during the pandemic. Cardinal games are a summertime tradition, and while the bases are still 90 feet apart, the way you get into the game is changing. Tickets are now delivered exclusively through the MLB Ballpark app. And for instructions on how to get your digital tickets, visit cardinals.com/ballpark app. And you'll learn how to download, share, and use your tickets all in one stop. Again, for all your ticketing needs, visit cardinals.com/ballpark app. In March 2020, most of us began a long quarantine as COVID spread across the country. Many worked from home, but some had no choice but to show up in person. Their in-person work is essential to our society, and we owe them a debt of gratitude for their selflessness. And throughout the season, the Cardinals are honoring these frontline workers during games. Here's more.
This season, Major League Baseball has joined forces with all of the teams to support and salute our frontline and essential workers by donating $1.5 million worth of complimentary tickets to baseball games across the league. The Cardinals are supporting frontline and essential workers through our Frontline Fans program. This season, every Monday through Thursday home game, we're donating 200 complimentary tickets to groups of frontline and essential workers all across our community. During each game, the frontline fans and essential workers are seated in one section with their family and friends, and we hope fans will all encourage them and give them a big round of applause to show our support and appreciation.
All summer long, we're honoring Mike Shannon and celebrating his 50th and final year in the booth. Here's a look back at one of Mike's memorable calls.
Swing, and there it is. Look at this baby into the upper deck. Off the facade up there, number 17. Wasn't any doubt about this one going to the yellow line. Woo! The kid tried to sneak a fastball by him, and as the guy said, that's like trying to sneak the sun by the rooster.
Still to come, you ask, I answer. It's Ask Ozzie after the break.
Arenado, a drive, deep left, at the wall. Welcome to St. Louis, Nolan. An opening day home run. Nolan Arenado down the left field line. It is gone. And the Cardinals are back on top. Racing after it. Oh, he got it. Oh, what a play. Nolan being Nolan.
The Cardinals Insider Podcast is back for 2021. Our newest episode hits feeds on April 30th with my guest, former Cardinal and new MLB podcast host, Xavier Scruggs.
Immediately felt the chills, and I thought about all the hard times that I put into it.
It's great perspective on making your dreams come true with some awesome baseball stories mixed in. Be sure to join us at cardinals.com/podcast or anywhere that you get your podcast. Xavier Scruggs is my guest on the April edition of the Cardinals Insider Podcast.
It's time for this week's Ask Ozzie. Bo in Bloomington, Illinois asks, who is your favorite Cubs player? Well, that would have to be Ryne Sandberg. Ryne and I had a chance to get to know each other as all-stars. I think we played together about 10 times. And then when he made the Hall of Fame, we've gotten a chance to spend a lot of time together. So my favorite Cub would have to be Ryne Sandberg. We both play golf. He's more of a hunter than I am, so I get to hear about all the hunting stories and it's everything that doesn't have to do with baseball, which is really pretty cool. Thanks for the question, Bo. If you want to submit a question, head to cardinals.com/insider and click the Ask Ozzie tab. There's more still to come here on Cardinals Insider, so don't go anywhere.
So many memories have been made on the field at Busch Stadium. Make some of your own this Memorial Day with a spring mini photo session. Each session includes a 20-minute photo shoot on the field with a professional photographer and 10 to 12 edited digital prints. Plus, you get a coupon for a free food item at Cardinals Nation Restaurant and admission to the Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum for your entire group. Create lasting memories for your family this Memorial Day with a family photo session at Busch. For more information or to book, visit cardinals.com/events.
It's been great having fans back at Busch Stadium this season, but we realize that not everyone has been able to make it back to baseball heaven just yet. So we're wrapping up today's show by bringing you some in-game hype straight from the Busch scoreboard.
And believe me, it is so great to say, welcome back to baseball.
Here we go. Back again, same scenario. Win, 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 win. Yeah, we on a roll. Yeah, 2, 4, 6. We like 10-0. I should probably tell them something that they didn't know.
At the wall, gone! It's gone! Sliding, oh, what a catch!
What now? Tell me who you
He struck him out.
Like, wait, who us now? What you gonna do when we pull up on you like?
Get up, baby. Get up. Oh, yeah.
Big Ackland.
Oh, shut down. Say, oh, what now? Tell me who you see when you look straight up. Like, wait, who us now? What you gonna do when we pull up on you like?
Tyler O'Neill. He's done it again. Racing after it, Bader diving. Oh, what a catch! What a catch!
We need that rain. Me and my team. Deja vu. This here a dream.
It's taken low and a pick off at first and got him. Yachty picked him off.
Told them we the one. They would count us out. Now we counting up the funds. They all love the hate when it don't work out. Tell you that they always been down.
Base hit. Here comes Molina.
Say, oh.
Save! He's saved! Carpenter comes through! Unbelievable! There it is! Hit number 2,000! One of the greatest ever to put on a Cardinals uniform. Hit number 2,000 for Yachty.
That's it for today. You can watch on this station each week or catch full episodes on YouTube. Plus, we're always online at cardinals.com/insider. Until next time, I'm Ozzie Smith, and I'll see you next week.